Foundation. I can pass it to Regine if she wants to add anything about Give STL Day or the Community Foundation. Oh, hi, welcome, welcome. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, cool. I was having quick hiccup with my screen. Okay. So like I said, you're here for the free Canva for Fundraising workshop. I'm super excited to have all y'all here. I have the agenda on the left-hand side of the screen. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. So the agenda is on the left-hand side of the screen. What we're going to do today is think about creativity. I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am. I'm going to learn a little bit about why you are here. We're going to set some SMART goals for fundraising. I'm going to walk everybody through Canva. We'll talk through a content calendar. We'll have time for questions, and then we'll wrap it all up. So I'm really excited to get this started with you all. I've taught this workshop a couple of times. So to get started, I like to name something that's really important in the nonprofit space in this region, and it is the abundance mindset versus the scarcity mindset. Oftentimes, when we're all going after funding on a day like Give STL Day, we're operating in this mindset that if someone else gets the funding, I won't. Or if I get the funding, that means other organizations whose missions are just as important won't get the funding. So before we even jump into the activity today, I really want to talk about having an abundance mindset. It's that belief that there's enough resources and opportunities for everyone, so that way we can collaborate, think more creatively, and grow strategically. I'm going to name it again. There are enough resources for all of us to achieve our missions and visions. So starting with that, something I love to do at the beginning of my workshops is thinking about things that we are grateful for. I think it's a good way to welcome the space and to welcome everybody there. So for this activity, I'm going to say a category, and I want you guys to hop in the chat and name something that you are grateful for related to that. So if I say name a person that you're grateful for, can everybody drop a name in the chat of a person that you are grateful for? I know this is a different type of activity. Yes. This is awesome. Volunteers are the best. So are moms and husbands and sisters. Yes, authors. I just published a book. I'll tell you about that later. Awesome. Board members are awesome. It can be huge in fundraising. Okay, thank you for starting with that one. So the next one, can everybody drop a food that you are grateful for in the chat? Any food that you're grateful for. I just got back from New Orleans. I'm typically a vegetarian, but I had some alligator and y'all, it changed me. So yes, Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scouts have been out working hard. All right, and then last one, can everyone drop a song that you are grateful for today? I know this one will make you think, right? The song that you're grateful for. Leslie, I just saw you have an idea. I loved your idea face. The song came to you. I saw it. It's so funny. Love it. Love it. Awesome. So again, I do love to start with a little bit of a gratitude activity at the beginning of my workshops, just to remind us that we all have a lot to be grateful for. The work that we're doing is something that is deserving of resourcing and a lot of gratitude. And again, the resources exist for all of us to achieve our missions and visions. So going in with that mindset, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about me to get started. So my name is Arkayla. I am a strategic storytelling specialist or something like that. My communications role has shifted a lot over the years. Sometimes I'm a website designer. Sometimes I'm an event planner. Sometimes I'm a babysitter. There's all types of things that happen working in nonprofits, right? A little bit more about me. I was born in Belleville, Illinois. I earned my bachelor's in public relations from Kent State University. I'm an Aquarius, if you believe in astrology and that's your thing. I live in Dutchtown. I started my consulting business, Wildflower Communications, 6 years ago this month. I'm a poet and a writer, and I love communications. I've worked with about 25 different nonprofits in the St. Louis region, as well as in the Los Angeles region, supporting them with all different types of communications goals, whether it's teaching Canva workshops, or it's running communications and marketing for the Hollywood Climate Summit. Sometimes it's taking Instagram Reels for the South Grand Business District. And oftentimes it's doing something that's social justice related. So all of my communications always have a social justice lens. How can we best support communities who are most impacted? So jumping into our workshop now. So since we're all here, I would love for you all to take a little bit of personal inventory about who you are and why you're here. So on the board, you'll see a fill in the blank paragraph. So I want everyone to just sit with that paragraph for a second. Read through it and fill in the blanks. And I'll hush for about 30 seconds to let y'all do that. Feel free to write it in a notebook or on a Word document or anything else, and then we'll have a chance to share. And if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. And if I don't see your hand raised, literally just shout. If you want to drop your response in the chat, that's fine as well. But just take a second, even if it's just in your head, to read through this fill in the blank and fill in the blanks. All right, would anyone like to share? Feel free to come off mute. It's okay if not.
Know why I'm having a hard time filling in the blank.
Oh, gotcha. So how can I help?
No, it's right on the screen. I should be able to just click on this.
You can't click it on the screen, honey. My apologies. So if you can write it in either your own notebook or on your own document.
Okay.
Sorry about that, love.
I'm sorry, I stepped away, so I may have missed something.
Oh, no worries. No, that's a good note, though. For next time, I will make it to where you can fill it out on the screen. Thank you for that. Make sure you fill out the survey after.
Now, where do we fill it out? I'm sorry.
If you can just write it in your own notebook, or if you want to open up a Word document, or just think about it in your head. My apologies, y'all. Last year, y'all didn't ask this one. So,
Okay.
y'all are like, we're trying to get in there, do the work. I hear you. So yes, if you wrote it on your notebook or on a Word document or in your email and want to share it out loud, feel free. If not, no worries.
Okay, I think I can share.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Denise Johnson, and I'm a pastor at New Journey Baptist Church in St. Louis, Missouri. Our work makes me feel connected. Um, when we serve the community, I believe that. Now, let me see what it says. When we blank. Oh, let me see more. Oh, when we serve the community, I know that we can achieve a future where the next generation is prepared to take the mantle. I'm proud to work at a place where we understand the vision that it is all about loving the people.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. Beautiful. Anyone else I would like to share?
I can go. Hi, I'm Jessica.
Hello.
So my name is Jessica. I'm the marketing and communications coordinator at DeSales Community Development. And our work makes me feel like we're changing the lives of future generations for families in need. When we brainstorm, I know that we can achieve a better future where we build stronger communities within St. Louis. And I'm proud to work at a place where we can, take historical buildings around St. Louis and turn them into affordable housing for families and residents.
Awesome. Love to know about that. Definitely drop your org in the chat if you haven't already. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Anyone else that would like to go? I can take maybe one more.
I'm happy to share.
Okay.
My name is Barbara Goody, and I am the vice president at Harbor Unlimited. Our work makes me feel fulfilled. And when we work together, I know that we can achieve a future where inclusion is the norm. I am proud to volunteer actually at a place where we're able to love on people and share God's word.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Also, shout out to all the volunteers that are here as well. That's awesome. I'm really happy to have y'all taking on the fundraising for your organizations and supporting in that way. If anyone else would like to go, you can drop it in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and move to our next slide. So, like I mentioned in the beginning, I got my bachelor's in public relations from Kent State University, and they really kept us, kept it at the forefront of our minds that strategic communications is what we're here for. And so I can't dive super deep into what is strategic communications, but I would love to just give you guys a quick overview of it because I think that understanding strategic communications really supports an understanding how you're doing your fundraising work. So, when someone approaches you and is like, we need communications, there are 5 steps that you're going to want to follow. The first step is your research and observations. You want to get to know who are the folks that you're trying to solve the problem for, what is the problem, what solutions have already been presented, and you'll do this through primary and secondary research. So primary research, actually talking to people, and secondary research, reading the stories that have been collected by others, such as through research documents and things like that. So once you've done a little bit of research, you're getting to know what's going on. Then you want to identify your problem statement and your key publics. So you want to think about who you're trying to talk to and what problem are you solving for them. After you've defined your key publics and your problem statement, also be mindful, key publics is never yes, you look at the slide deck. So your key publics are not the general public. Your key publics need to be a little bit more narrow. Think about the exact population of folks that you want to impact with your communications. So then once you have those things defined, you're going to jump into your theme and key messages. Your theme is a 3 to 5 word phrase that encompasses all the things that you're accomplishing with your communications. Your key messages. A lot of times we think we need 20 key messages and folks need all of this information to take the action we're trying to get them to take. But typically, you really only need 5 to 7 key messages, which are just one sentence each, that lets folks know what you're wanting them to do with the communication you're creating. From there, you want to create your objective or goal. Your objective is essentially what you're going to accomplish through using these key messages and talking to these audiences. And then lastly, your strategy, not to be confused with your objective. Your objective is what you're accomplishing, and your strategy is your approach to accomplishing. Strategy is the how. So say we're going to use fundraising as an example. So give STL Day. You can do some research and find out how much funding your organization has received from this day in the past. You can also think about which populations did the most donations. From there, you're going to identify your problem. You can say that perhaps people in the age range 30 to 40 are looking for organizations to put their support behind. So now we have our key public defined, and we also know what their problem is. Our theme can be, it's cool to create a social network of people who give, something like that, right? And then our key messages can get into how do you give, where to give, how much money is most impactful. And then we can also think about our objective. What do we want to accomplish? We want folks to obviously donate. And I'm going to get into a little bit more about creating a SMART goal around that. And then your strategy, our approach would be potentially to use a social media campaign or a networking event to really showcase that the entire community is giving to your organization. Now, I know I talked about that really fast. This is something that I do go through pretty quickly in my workshop because I know that we're really focused on getting those Canva graphics made. But I will pause for a second to answer any questions about this process, and I will also be sending the slides out after the workshop as well. Any questions that I can answer about this? Awesome. All right, I'm going to keep going. So as I mentioned, our objective, we're going to get a little bit deeper into writing a SMART goal. So SMART goals are used across a variety of industries. I've used them in communications pretty frequently. I also use them when I worked in banking, and I know people in sales use them as well. So what does SMART stand for? S is for specific. M is for measurable. A is for attainable. R is for realistic. And T is for time bound. Any goals that you set, you want to make sure that they're specific enough to where you know if you achieve them. You want to make sure that they're measurable. Give a unit. That way, again, you can track if you're achieving it. You want to make sure it's attainable and realistic, goals that you can truly achieve. So for example, if I said I wanted to sell 5,000 copies of my book in this workshop, it's probably not going to happen. There's only about 30 of you here, right? So you want to be very realistic, and then you want to be time bound. When you add a timestamp on your goals, you can go back to them and see if you achieve them, and then replicate the process or make adjustments to continuously achieve those goals. When you're thinking about a SMART goal, you want to ask yourself the following questions. What action do I want people to take? How can I get people to take this action? And what are the measurable outcomes of this action? So I'm going to pause for a second. Do I have any questions about SMART goals? Awesome. So I do have a sample SMART goal over here on the side, and it says, to encourage 15 people in my network to donate at least $20 to my organization by May 7th. So that would be my SMART goal, for instance, for a fundraising campaign. Is there anyone else that would like to share their SMART goals or ask any questions? How's the pacing? Am I moving too fast? Are you guys feeling all right? You can throw a thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you, Dawn.
You're moving all right. You're explaining so well. So
Thank you. This is my favorite workshop.
Easy to follow.
Hey, if you can't tell, this is my favorite workshop to teach. And I've taught it quite a few times.
Awesome.
All right. Cool. So moving on. Our next section, I'm actually going to share a resource from the St. Louis Community Foundation. So this is a new piece of my workshop. So this one I might need to slow down a little bit. Using pre-made content. If you want to talk about time saving, the St. Louis Community Foundation already has a ton of content already made in Canva that we can go in and edit instead of having to create our own. When you're using this pre-made content, one, you're automatically using all of the correct Give STL Day branding like colors and fonts. Two, you're cutting your design time in half because it's already created. And three, visually, viewers will understand that this is part of Give STL Day and their brains will think about donating. And so really excited to revamp my workshop a little bit and use this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy the link for the template and drop it in the chat. And then I'm going to give everybody a second to actually get Canva open and open up these templates. So I just dropped the link in the chat. It normally takes about 1 or 2 minutes for everyone to get logged into Canva. So I'm going to give a second for that. If you guys want to throw me some thumbs up as you get logged in and as you follow the link. But eventually you're going to get a page that looks like this one on the screen. Holler if y'all have any questions. Thank you for sending the thumbs up, y'all. We'll only give it 1 more minute. Awesome. All right. Oh, go ahead. Okay. No questions? Cool. So you're going to click View Template and then Open in Editor. So if I can get some thumbs up when your screen looks like mine. Awesome. Wow, the exploding thumbs up was fun. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple of different things here with you all. So first, getting into Canva. Welcome to Canva. If you haven't been here before, it is a magic design tool. So my website is hosted in Canva. I have designed commercials in Canva, all my social media content, tons of things in Canva. You're going to love it here. So as we're getting into this, I'm actually going to share my other screen for just a second. We're jumping into our Canva tour. Here are the things that we're going to learn. So one, you're creating your account and you're opening the Give STL Day pre-made template. We got that. I'm going to explain the toolbars. We're going to explore the elements tool.
Afternoon or meetings.
So I don't know whose background we're hearing, but if we can mute. Thank you. So we're going to explore the elements tool, the text tool, our image tools, how to upload images, grouping, and some other useful shortcuts, and then of course downloading your masterpiece. So let me get back into the tab that all of us should have open. So does your screen look like mine? Throw me a thumbs up if so. Were you able to open up the templates? If not, I can drop the link again. Awesome. All right, so on your left-hand side of your screen, that toolbar is all about adding things to your document. So whether you're changing to a different template, you're adding in elements like a square or a picture, things like that, adding text, adding your brand kit, adding a photo that you upload yourself, adding different tools like QR codes and things like that, or even referencing one of your old projects. All of the things that you add to your page will show up on the left-hand toolbar. Now, looking at your page and the things that are on it. If you click on any element on your page, it's going to open up another toolbar. Well, first you have to unlock it. So if you click supporting nonprofits, those words, above it, you're going to see a little box that says Ask Canva. It has a little talk bubble with the plus sign, and then it has a little lock with a pin in the middle. So you're going to click the lock to unlock the element. You may have to click it twice. So when an element is locked, that means that it's staying exactly where it is and how it is on your page. So now supporting nonprofits can be moved around by clicking and dragging. So I want everyone to unlock the words supporting nonprofits, and I can show you how to do that again. And then just work with moving it around the page. Find a new place for it. Dragging and dropping. And then once you have it in the place that you want, you can lock it again. That way it cannot be moved and it won't be affected when you're moving other elements. And then again, to unlock, click the element and click the unlock button twice. So next, say we want to change the word supporting nonprofits and add your nonprofit's name. So you want to double click in the box. You want to backspace, and then you want to write your nonprofit's name. You'll notice that there are a bunch of different dots around the corners of the box. So those allow you to change the shape and size of the box. So for instance, my text is now going off the page. So I want to drag from this rectangular side, and I want to drag it in to where it now goes on 2 lines and everything fits on the page. If you want to make the box bigger and keep everything proportional, you can drag from any of the corners. So can you practice moving your box and making it smaller, bigger, and then remember everything stays proportional if you drag from the corners. Once you're feeling comfortable with moving the box around, changing the shape and size of it, drop me a thumbs up, please. And if you have any questions, of course, let me know. Yay. Perfect. So I want you to click that text again. Along the top hand toolbar, so remember the left hand toolbar is things that we're adding to the page. The top toolbar is what we're doing to the elements that are already on the page. So this first section is how you can change the font. So say your nonprofit has a specific font that you would like to use instead of the official Give STL Day font. Feel free to change that. So again, that first one is changing the font. The second one is changing the size of the font. So you can make it bigger or smaller. The third option is changing the color of the font. So you'll see if you have any photos, this is a really good thing to remember. If you have any photos on your page, when you click that text color button, all the photos on your page, those colors will come up right here. So this is an easy way to make sure that your colors stay consistent throughout your document. So say I want to make this orange. I know that this orange will match the same orange that's on the hand. And then, of course, the next one is to bold the font, italicize, underline, strike through. The next button is you can make everything uppercase or lowercase. You can change the alignment. You can center align, right or left. You can make it bulleted. There's advanced settings like spacing. So the spacing, if I want my letters to be really far apart or really close together, if I want my lines really far apart or really close together, fade out or come back in. There's also effects. So say I wanted to add a shadow to make the word stand out more. I can also add an outline. I could make the outline a different color to make the word stand out more. And I can even add a background, changing if it's very rounded or not rounded, if it goes right around the words, or if it's spread out further. And then if you ever want to remove all of your effects, you just click none in the corner. So I want you guys to play with that text toolbar and make the words that have your nonprofit's name look the way that you would like for them to look on the page. Give me a thumbs up once you feel confident with that piece of your text. Perfect. I'll give it another minute so everyone can work with the text tools. If you're working ahead, you can also unlock the I'm making a difference today text, or I'm making a difference by. And you can add different text there as well. Like this year, I am donating to, and then you'll have your nonprofit's name. And I believe Give STL Day is actually the 7th this year. So I will update the date down here and just play around with updating things on your document.
Arkayla.
Yes.
Okay, so embarrassing as it is, I had to go get logged into Canva. How did you guys get over here so I can catch up?
I will see it right now. It happens. I'll drop it in the chat again. So you will pull up this document that I just dropped in the chat.
Okay.
And then this template will come up for you.
Oh, okay. So just click on that. Click on the
Yes.
document you just dropped.
Yep. And then you want to click use editor or as an editor or something like that. I can't remember
Let's
the
see.
exact.
I see the template.
Mm-hmm.
Click view template.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Open in editor.
Yep. There you go.
Okay. Okay. I'm finally here.
Hey, we're doing it. Also, the whole thing was recorded, so if you missed anything, you can come back and watch it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions? Of course, of course. Any other questions about the text tools? Okay. So we're going to return to this left-hand toolbar and start to think about different elements that you can add to your document. So underneath the one that says templates, you have elements. Actually, let's look at templates. So if we didn't have the pre-made template that is so beautiful here as it is, we could add any of these templates that can accomplish a little bit of everything. So say I want to find a template that helps me promote an event. I can type an event and there's a bunch of different templates there. So if you want to add a template to your document, what you're going to do is, if you can see my mouse right above the document that you're working on, there's a couple different tools. There's icons. So if you want to add another post, you're going to click Add Page. And now you have a blank page. And now you can insert by clicking any of these templates that you have over on the left-hand side. So I can show you that again. So if you want to play with a new template, not the one that we're working on now, you're going to go to the upper right-hand side of your current document and scroll over the little thing that looks like a box with a plus sign, click Add Page, and then on your left-hand toolbar, you'll click Templates, and then you can type in anything that you're looking for. So maybe you're looking for fundraising. And there's going to be a bunch of different templates that show up that you can use. Any of those that you click on will automatically be populated onto your new document. So can everyone work on adding a page and adding a new template? And then we'll get into the other stuff. It's a useful skill to have, even though today we're just working off the Give STL Day templates. Knowing how to build out a new one will help you out in the long run. Perfect. Any questions about adding a page? No? Perfect. So now that we know how to get into templates, we're going to look at elements. So you can look for a little bit of everything in elements. So say I wanted to add a graphic of children playing because my nonprofit supports kids and youth. So when you go to the left-hand toolbar, you'll click Elements. You can type in whatever type of graphic that you're looking for that might represent your nonprofit. You type it in and you search it, and you're going to get a lot of different options. You'll get graphics, you'll get photos, you'll get videos, audio, frames, all types of things. So I know that I want to use a graphic, so I'm going to click See All. And I think that this graphic matches what I'm trying to say the best. So click on whichever element you want to add to your page. Just like with the text boxes, when you drag from the corners, you keep everything proportional. So click and drag from the corners. If you drag from the sides, you're going to start removing some of the imagery at the top or the bottom. So add an element. that represents your nonprofit. It could just be a heart. So if you search heart, there's going to be a ton of different options. Maybe you support with, there's all types of things that you guys support with, I know. Maybe you're a volunteer, and so you want a volunteer logo, something that looks like one of these. There's all types of options. So I want you guys to just play around with adding an element to your document. And then just like the text, when you click on this new element, what you'll see is that you have a toolbar that appears above the page too. So this one, you can do things like background remover if you have a photo. I'll show you that in just a second. And then you can change the colors. So maybe this shade of blue isn't quite what I want, and I want to switch it to yellow. Everywhere that shade of blue is prevalent in my image will now change to yellow. So you can change the colors of your document. You can also add a box around if you want to add a frame, or you can remove it. You can make it more transparent. So the boxes that look like they're fading away, that's your transparency. So I can make this image kind of blend into the background. And say I wanted my image to be really big and stretch all the way across here. If I wanted it in front of the words, I can click position and forward. Maybe I want it behind all of the words. So you can also, any element on your page, you can switch where it lives, whether it's in front of the elements behind it or behind them. And that's again in that top toolbar, you'll click position, and that's how you can move those things around. So I want you guys to take another second to play around with the element that you placed on your page.
How did you get it where it says colors up there when in your above where your position and all of that? I see the different colors. Mine didn't come up with colors like that.
So what type of element did you drop?
I dropped a empowerment image. Is that what you mean?
Yes. So was it a photo or a graphic? Because the photos you won't be able to change colors, but the graphics, like little.
I think it may be a graphic. How can I tell?
So if the colors come up at the top, pretty much is the main way. So if you click
okay. So the colors didn't come up there, so that means I have a graphic.
So yeah, you might not be able to change the colors on that. Most of the things in Canva you can change the colors, but they do have a couple elements that you can't change.
Okay.
But typically, anytime you click on an element on the page, whether it's text or an image, you'll get a toolbar that pops up at the top, and that gives you all the options that you have available.
Okay. All right. So that wasn't one of mine, but I was able to, I can change the position, and I pretty much have it where you have yours.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. So I do want us to all see some really cool things that you can do with photos. So in your elements, again, we're going to go to this left-hand toolbar. You'll click elements. Let's see a photo of volunteers. You don't have to use this. I just want to show you this really cool Canva hack. So here's a group of volunteers. I'm going to drag from the edges and make it fill the entire page. Fill in the entire page with it. And then I'm going to make it transparent. And I'm going to put it in the back. So it's behind all of my other elements. So oftentimes you'll see things that use the actual company photos, and you can put those in the background of your graphic as well. And I can show you how to do that again, because I know I moved kind of fast. So elements, you want to find a photo. You'll click that photo. You'll drag and spread it across the entire page. And then you'll want to make it transparent. So drop that transparency and position, move it to the back. And then it's just existing in the background of your graphic. Also, if you want to add a blank page, any photo that you add, you can use this really cool tool called the background remover. When you click that, it does exactly what it says and removes the background. So say you have a staff photo, but the background was looking kind of crazy because it was in your office and things like that. You can actually remove the background and use the images in other ways. Perfect. So I'll let you guys take another minute to just play around with the different elements tools. And then we'll keep moving down. Any questions?
Yeah. So I have a photo over there, But then you said to hit transparency in order to make it
Yep.
move to. Oh, I don't see the transparency button. Where is it?
So when you click on the element, it should be along the top of your screen. And the button looks like a bunch of squares that are fading.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Yep. And then after you make it transparent, you're going to want to click position and move it to the back.
Okay, position. And then click on to back over here.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you for asking the questions. So as we are moving down this toolbar, I'm just going to tell you about some of those other things you can add. So the T, the capital T, stands for text. You can add text to your graphic. You can either pick a font combination down here. There's fonts that have already been pre-selected by designers, so you know that they look good. Also, which the next Canva for Fundraising Part 2, will go into building a brand kit. So if I want anything that's related to my brand right now, I can add my Wildflower Communications colors or logo. You can also upload your own images. I work with a couple different women's healings retreats, so you can see all types of things with the mountains and things like that here. To add your own image, you'll click on Uploads, and then you'll click Upload Files. And whether you're doing this on your computer or your phone, it'll pull up your files, and you can bring any images or videos or audio into Canva to be used on your document. So again, if you're in your left-hand toolbar, the little thing that looks like a cloud and pointing upwards, that's your uploads. If you click there and then click upload files, you can upload any files from your phone, your laptop, your tablet, whatever device that you're on. Continuing down, some other things I really like to use. If you go down this toolbar on your left-hand side, you'll see apps, QR codes, and Canva does have a free QR code generator. So if I ever want to add my website or say the link to this Canva document, I can generate a code and it plops right in the middle of my design. So now I'm just kind of showing you guys some tips in navigating Canva. I know your design might start to look a little crazy as we're adding these elements, but you'll have plenty of time when you hop off this call to go back in and make it simple and make it look really good to do donations. Perfect. And then you can resize again, dragging from the corners.
Did you have to type in QR code up there?
I did. So I typed in QR code, yes.
Okay.
And the little search bar.
But from the left side, I don't see where it says QR code. I don't have that option.
So you'll click apps on the left side.
Okay.
Yep, you might have to scroll down a little bit further.
Okay.
So it should be under projects.
Oh. Didn't come up. Well, wait a minute. Let's see. Projects. I got apps. The last thing that I have is background.
Background. Do you have a way to scroll down or expand more in your left toolbar?
No, I don't have more.
Let me see if you can search in your elements. You might be able to. Okay, so you can also, you do have your elements tab. So if you're in that left-hand toolbar, you can click elements.
Okay.
And type QR code there, and you'll also get it there.
Okay.
Yep. Also, my apologies if y'all hear my neighbor's dog. She barks all day long. So perfect. Do I have any questions about some of the different tools and things that you can do in Canva so far? Okay. So I'm going to jump into a couple of design best practices. So what's really cool today is that we have this template to build off of, and the template is already following a lot of those design best practices.
I'm sorry. Can I ask you a question before you move on?
Of course.
I was looking at mock-ups. Now, what is that about?
Mock-ups? So mock-ups is where you can essentially make it look like it's, I'll show you another screen. So if I wanted to see what a graphic looked like as a t-shirt, I can add it here, and then I can add that photo in here. So any place that you see this little photo placeholder in Canva, that's essentially, you can add a photo there.
Okay.
So if you want it to look like it's on a computer screen, for example, I've done that with some of my old workshop recordings, and I've uploaded the video. So that's what mock-ups do.
Okay.
Thanks for asking. So going back into some of those design basics. So this, once again, we're lucky we have this template to use. It's already using a lot of design best practices. So for instance, we have bright colors that are eye-catching. We also have limited text. Where people go wrong with their designs is that they want to tell their entire nonprofit's history. The graphic is not for you to tell the story. So you want to keep the copy as short as possible, just a couple of words like the templates that you already have here. Also, so there's the templates that I added, but this document in Canva has a variety of different templates that you guys can use that, once again, you'll just have to update the date and update what they say on them, but you can use these across all of your different platforms. So shout out to the St. Louis Community Foundation for providing these. Of course, you can insert your logo here. And they have a ton. Yes, when you make the QR code, you will have to add a website. My apologies, I missed that first message in the chat. Perfect. So I'm really excited that y'all will be able to use these pre-made templates. And I tell you, it will cut your design time in half, if not more, because you don't have to worry about selecting anything yourself. You can just go in and edit. So I'm going to return to my goals here. So I think we did go through, I didn't teach you guys about groupings. Let me show you that. So grouping is really important. It makes it a lot easier to design things. So say this bottom half of this graphic, where it says the Give STL Day, 5/8/25, and then this blue background. Every time you move those things, maybe you want to move them all together. So you're going to, yes, the recording will come out as well, y'all. So you're going to want to drag across all of the text, and then it should all be highlighted. Oh, these are all locked. We have to unlock things first to group them. So give me 1 second. Unlocking all of it. All right, so then you drag across and you can click group. And so now anytime I move any of these elements, oh, maybe not. Don't let me lie to y'all. So now anytime that I move any of these elements, they will move together. So maybe I wanted this part of the graphic to be at the top, or maybe I want it at the bottom, or even any of your elements, you can turn them any direction as well. And all those elements will turn and move the exact same because they're all grouped now. So again, if you're wanting to group elements, you just drag across them, click the word group, and then they'll always move together. Of course. So, go ahead. So if you have elements that you want to group, you're going to want to click and drag across the elements that you want grouped together. And then you'll get a little toolbar at the top that says group. There's the little lock and there's a duplicate sign. You want to click group, and then those elements will always move together. Any questions? Awesome. So what I say with Canva is that you get better at it the more you play with it. So as you get into here, you'll start to understand things like the duplicate button. If you want to get rid of an item, you can delete it. The best way, from my perspective, to learn Canva is to get these basic toolbars, know where things kind of live at, and then jump in and play with it. So I definitely encourage all of you to take some time this week to just play around in Canva. So I do have one more little section of my workshop that gets into what are you going to do with these graphics now, but I can take any last minute questions about Canva specifically.
I think this is great. I was wondering, are we to keep the hand image on the graphic, or could we, is that like
You can replace it. Yeah, no, you don't have to keep it. So anything on these templates, you don't have to keep. You can totally revamp, rework this entire design. It's just convenient that the St. Louis Community Foundation gave us a starting point to jump into our own creative adventures. So feel free to change any of those graphics. If you want to add photos from your organization, your logo, things like that are more than welcome to be added to these templates.
Okay, thank you.
I will send out a resource as well about getting free Canva for nonprofits. So give me a second for that. All right. So now that you've gotten started on making this Canva graphic, it's okay if your graphic is not done. You're going to have time to explore more. I wanted to give you guys a couple of pointers about how you're going to send out this graphic. So if you're sending it via email, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the best days for email. On Mondays, everybody's inbox is too full, and on Fridays, nobody wants to do any more emails anyway. Also, because Easter is coming up, avoid doing any funding outreach the week before or the week after Easter. So Canva typically is $12.95 a month. It's a great $12.95 to spend, especially if you're going to host your website there, but it is free for nonprofits. And I'll make sure that y'all get a resource about how to do Canva free for nonprofits. Another tip when you're thinking about how to share these graphics is anytime you share this graphic, you want to include a link directly to your donation page. The easier you make for people to donate so they have less hurdles to jump through, the more likely you're going to get that donation. Also, when you're thinking about donations, typically you have to have 2 to 3 touch points with each of your contacts in order to facilitate a donation. The first time you tell them, cool, it's on their mind. By the second time you tell them, they might actually be in a position where they can hop on and make a donation really quickly. And then by the third time, maybe they've already donated and they can tell a friend. So typically it does take a couple different touch points for people to actually do the action of making a donation. So keep that in mind. Also, you're going to want to use the hashtag GiveSTLDay across all your platforms to increase your visibility. And then if you're posting from your personal pages, tagging your nonprofit, your organization, as well as the St. Louis Community Foundation in your social media posts will help increase your reach as well. Because then not only are your followers seeing them, also the St. Louis Community Foundation, as well as your organization's followers are seeing it too. So creating the links. So if you've already done your registration for GiveSTLDay, you will get a link to a donation page that you can then use. And then that link, you can make a QR code out of, or just drop it in any of your content that you're sharing about your organization for GiveSTLDay. So to start your outreach, I did create a quick little text sample that you can start thinking about how to fill in the blank. I'll send this afterwards, but I'm also going to drop it in the chat. So along with the graphic that you just created, you can fill in the blank on this message and it is ready to go. You can send out the graphic. Just make sure you add the link for people to donate. But once you fill in these blanks, this is a message that is ready to send out to your entire network, asking them to donate to your organization for GiveSTLDay. So I'm going to give you guys each a little mission. First, I want you to identify 5 people that you can send this message to when early giving starts. Second, once you've completed your graphic, you want to download it as a PNG so it is easy to share across social media and text. Third, keep in mind that it takes about 2 to 3 touch points to actually get a donation. Put a reminder in your calendar to make sure you're following up on all of your outreach. So once again, I just dropped this little note in the chat. I will also share this in a post-workshop follow-up as well. That way you guys can use this template for any text or emails that you send out from your personal platforms, asking folks to donate to your organization for GiveSTLDay. So I know that that was a crash course in all things strategic communications, Canva, and everything else. Oh, you did not, Miss Dawn. Give me 1 second. So downloading the graphic. I was moving too fast, y'all. So I'm going to go back to my graphic here. So my Canva template. You're going to want to click in your upper right-hand corner, the button that says Share. And then you'll click Download. As I mentioned, you're going to want to download as a PNG because that is the easiest to send on social media and in text. And then you're going to click which page you're on. So right now I'm on page 10. So that would be the one I want to download. I'll click Done. And then you click Download. And it'll download to your device, whether that's your phone, your laptop, your desktop, your tablet, whatever it is. Thank you for asking, Dawn. So I can show that one more time. Upper right-hand corner, you'll click Share. You will click Download, which is the little arrow pointing down with a line beneath it. You'll want to download as a PNG. I do believe they started sending out some communication to register for GiveSTLDay. I'll double check with my contact at the Community Foundation to see if we can make sure you get that email, Jennifer. Thanks for asking. If you're signed up for the Community Foundation emails, you should have gotten one to register for GiveSTLDay. Yep, and then you'll pick which page you want to download, or if it's all of them, or if it's a couple of them. You just click, and then Done, and then you'll click Download. Thank you, Dawn, for asking that question. My apologies, I forgot one of the most important pieces. Okay, so on that note, what other questions do y'all have for me? And like I said, I know this is a crash course. I promise getting in there and playing with Canva will help a ton. And then, of course, I'll be available if you guys have any questions as well. Anything pressing right now? So my document has 10 pages because it was the already made Canva templates from the St. Louis Community Foundation. And then I added some new pages to play around with other templates. So your document can end up, I mean, I have some Canva documents with like 40, 50 different pages. And then whenever you go to download, and I will add my contact information on the screen here in just a second. So, all right. So now that we're at this part of the workshop, so I would love for you guys to stay connected. I love teaching this workshop. I don't know if you can tell, I'm pretty excited every time I teach it. So if you want to stay connected, I have my business Instagram listed up here. I will be totally honest, I don't check my Instagram a ton. It's kind of draining for me. But if you have anything that you want to message that page, feel free. I am more on my LinkedIn. And so if you want to add me on LinkedIn, Arkayla Tenney-Howard. And then my email is listed here as well. So I will say that I'm more than happy to answer Canva questions via email. Please give me, I have a lot of clients I'm working with right now, so about a 48-hour turnaround to respond to those questions. And then last, I have actually a survey for you all to let me know how this workshop was for you. Any folks that fill out this survey at the end of next week, I will send you, in addition to the text template, that email outreach template. But that is, if you fill out the survey, let me know what you enjoyed, let me know what you learned, and let me know what I can do better. So I thank you all so much for attending this workshop. I'm more than happy. We finished early, which is crazy. Oh, yes, thank you, Don, for asking. I did also just publish a book. It is a book of poetry. It's called If Feelings Could Speak. The book is actually based on journal entries throughout a couple of years of my life that I transformed into poetry. And it walks you through a variety of different emotions that came out through my journal entries. All of the art and design were done by me. It was a very hefty project for me throughout last year, and I'm really excited to share it. I can also share the link to that. Thank you so much for asking about that. In addition to all the strategic communications work that I do, I absolutely love writing poetry. I love hiking, meditating, yoga. My dad calls me a hippie, but it's, you know, a lot of things that, in addition to the beautiful work I get to do with nonprofits, really keeps me going. So would absolutely love to connect with y'all. Again, please fill out that survey. When you fill out the survey, I will be able to send you late next week access to my special fill in the blank outreach for emails. And so, yeah, really, really happy. And then hold on, steps on how to access templates. So Kim, can you explain that a little bit more? The Give STL Day templates that we were using today, or templates in general? If you're talking, you're muted. What I can do is I can send the link. Okay, perfect. So I will send the link to the template that we used today in a follow-up email for everyone who attended. So you'll be able to access it that way. I think it is also on the Give STL Day website. Let me see if I can find that for you real quick. Nonprofit resources. So it is on the Give STL Day website. Let me just get it to pull up for you. Well, I'm going to test it too much. I'll just make sure in the follow-up email you guys get that link. Here we go. So this page is all different resources for nonprofits that you all can use, including info on the trainings. There are volunteers that can help with design and fundraising strategies available through Catch-A-Fire, as well as the Dropbox with logos, templates, and all of that stuff too. So I just dropped that in the chat. That's a super handy link. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you again for joining this workshop. I love being able to teach my Canva workshop. Canva is my jam. It definitely is a tool that has been super great for my career and really great for helping me support nonprofits with their communications. I'm always available. Y'all see my email up on the screen. Please shoot me an email. Again, give me a 48-hour window to turn it around to you. Thank you so much for joining today. And I can't wait to see and learn so much about all of your nonprofits with Give STL Day. Holler if you need anything else from me. I'll be hanging out for like another 5 minutes. But thank you all so much for joining. And last, don't forget, there will be a Canva part 2 on March 17th. I will include that in the email as well. That's where we will go beyond the basic tools of Canva and start to talk about building brand kits and things like that. So, and then I see a question about the survey. I will throw that in the chat again as well. Here's that survey again. And thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you.
Of course. Awesome. I'm excited to connect, Jessica. And then, of course, I am a consultant. So if your nonprofit is like, wow, we need this girl to come do some communications work, please feel free to reach out. More than happy to continue doing the work that I love, supporting nonprofits with strategic communications.